Hello, everybody. Welcome back to No Honor Acquired, the story of my life. This is a hard mission. As with all missions, you have or all trials. You have a mech you don't get to customize at all or choose, and you're set up against some enemies. And these are enemies that are going to do that thing where they never keep track of their own heat, so they can just keep firing forever. And you better be ready for that.
Well, rather, if they didn't keep track of their heat, that would actually be useful, because you could then maybe force them to overheat.
No, they don't keep I mean, the game doesn't
suffer
even
the consequences of heat.
I mean, the game doesn't even keep I don't think there's even a stat for their heat. Basically, I think that's why it is the way it is. I think the game doesn't keep track of the enemy heat levels like it does your own. So that's a key thing, is you want to kill that guy before he ever gets to see you, so you shoot him over the mountain. And then you have to leg this Warhawk.
Dang it.
And you can, yeah, as life goes. But the important thing is that we got some damage in on the legs. Now, when we did the, and you want to use the, I find it easiest to use the pulse, just hold the pulse laser down, because then you don't have to worry about your heat as much as if you are chaining through things. And then once you get up close, of course, use the machine guns. But anyway, and I should have switched to group fire. But when you were playing the Falcon missions, we were in light maneuverable mechs, so we could actually do some real piloting and try to avoid things. It's a little bit harder in a heavy mech like this, and you also are much larger, so you can't do that strat where you just run up and hug them and they can't shoot you.
Because they're just about as fast as you are.
Because they're just about as fast as you are, and your profile's so big that they'll still hit you.
Yeah.
Like when you're a small mech, you can just get hugged. You can't do that as a heavy mech.
They'll just like clip through you, but not actually be able to hit you.
Yeah. And there was accidentally group firing. Good times. Okay, so you want to get his leg. His leg that I'm shooting for. Okay. Now you leave him here and you don't start the next trial, because you can see those 3 red dots on the radar. Those are the other 3 mechs that we'd have to take down. And thankfully, while I'm running to his backside, he misses everything. And you can see them and you can log on to them and fight them, but they are not aggroed yet because you haven't started phase 2 of the trial. But it does count if you kill them now.
Oh, so they preloaded them so they could appear immediately.
Well, they're all supposed to be waiting basically nearby. That's if you read into MechWarrior lore, the idea is that the mechs who are waiting for you literally just hang around, and you can go and attack them, and then they'll fight you. That is an idea, but the whole thing where you're kind of exploiting it to run up to them and fire on them and kill them before they can do anything, that's a little bit of a Neil special. And here I had the idea that I didn't know if the whole group, this was my first time trying it actually, now that I think about it, I didn't know if the whole group would start coming towards me when I attacked one of them or not. Turns out that they don't, only the one that you hit, so I could have done this way better. A better way to do it would have been to run up to him, take out his leg, and then kill him before he got a chance to react.
And then just kill the other ones from far away.
And then do the other ones the same way. Just take out the leg, because they only come one at a time.
But wouldn't they start attacking you all the moment that you got close?
Nope, they're each individually. You'll see. It'll happen with the next 2. They're each individually reasoned. And I don't know why, because if you actually hit the engagement, and here I was running to the wall, and I was like, oh, well.
Why am I not getting further away from him?
But I'm trying to not just get broadsided here, so I'm trying to get a little bit closer to and come around the side. But anyway, point was, you don't shoot the engagement sphere, so that doesn't start round 2. Oh, I remember what I was doing. I was trying to keep the Warhawk between us, so that if he shot at me,
he would shoot him instead by accident.
Yeah. But that's not necessary. It's way better to do the other thing that I was talking about earlier.
I've done that so many times. in Valkyria Chronicles. That's actually the most well, the best strategy if you want to achieve better ranks is to make your enemy accidentally kill your enemy by just directing them in between, just sandwiching them.
And that's what I tried to do for a few attempts on this trial, but it just didn't work because there were still enough of them hitting you with enough damage that you just got shredded. I mean, even this time when I messed up a little bit, but I used a much better strat, you know, I still got shredded pretty hard. It's not like I'm fully operational here. So anyway, yeah, you can see his two friends are sitting over there hanging out.
This one's already damaged in the legs. Is it because
those ones spawned in damaged in the legs, so I theorized they did the whole drop all the mechs thing.
They should really reconsider how they do that, you know?
You know what, let's go back in time to 94 or whatever and fix this game. I think we could really tell them a thing or two about
I mean, like people, like in universe, if your mechs just generally get damaged as you put them out into battle, you know, maybe there's
figure out
some
better.
room for improvements.
Yeah, it's a wonder that the clans ever got anything done at all, because they don't seem to be tactical masterminds, really. But yeah, and the Warhawk is still alive, and the key to that is once you kill that Warhawk, it'll say, if you haven't already killed all these mechs like I'm going to, it will say first phase successful, first rank acquired, or new rank acquired. Shoot engagement sphere to initiate round 2. You have 15 seconds. So, but if you never kill the Warhawk, then it never starts that timer, and so you can take your time picking these guys off one at a time. And I think I looked at the mission at some point during this. You have like 15 or 30 minutes to do this, so it's not really a time issue as long as you are just careful. And here I was wondering if maybe these had some sort of Easter egg inside them if I inspected them, but no, they don't.
What is this? What is this town hall doing here?
Yeah, I don't know why there's like a little city here, but maybe it's barracks for like the army. You know, that's the living quarters for these guys. But I don't think you'd have like the fight right next to your living quarters. Seems like a bad idea.
Yeah, that one really just ignores.
Yep. I was worried I was gonna hit him accidentally for a second.
Yeah, between the legs or something.
Yeah. And now I can get behind him because I've legged him. So that's what you do: is you go around, you leg one, and then you run to the back
until they can't turn their torso anymore.
And then you give them the old pew pew to the other leg.
In the legs, and then they can't stand anymore, and then they have to explode.
Yep, that's how it works. I do love all the particles flying around.
It's pretty good. And the 8-bit explosion.
Yeah. Well, I blew off some. I don't remember if it was in this time or not, but earlier I blew off one of the Warhammer's arms with missiles from a kilometer away, and you could just see the arm flying across.
There was a set. There was a set like that. Yes. I remember.
I turned on group fire for a second because I was trying to see if I could just take the leg off before he started, but he's got a little more armor than that. Hooray! So yeah, there you go. That's how you do it.
Engagement spheres, I noticed.
Yeah, because they want it. You can fight. You know, the fight can go somewhere else, and you're supposed to hit whichever engagement sphere you're closest to.
Oh, that actually makes sense.
Yeah, it's actually somewhat thought out. And I got kind of stuck in the mountain for a second there, but I was also a little confused because I think I don't remember if it was this time. Maybe I was thinking of another. But hey, I got him in the joint. And if you look, oh yeah, I'll look at the. See, it says destroy second mech star completed. So that counted. So I don't have to even do that. Once I kill this mech, then I'll be done.
They just count it as flags even before. It's kind of weird that way.
Yeah, I'm confused that the event could trigger, basically.
Pretty much.
But
like what I imagine would happen in a situation like this, they would be like spawn spawn the mechs, and they just then you cannot kill you cannot successfully complete the mission because you can't kill them anymore. But now it seems like maybe just in general all the objectives are available right from the start, although no,
I think that's it.
Yeah,
I think
maybe
that's
for
it.
these types of missions they do that.
But it also does, like I said, fit into the universe lore, because that's how they do their trials in the clans. They're just like, hey, all the dudes are here, and you can fight as many as you want to advance more ranks, but the more you fight, the harder it will be to complete. And you can just walk up to them and start shooting them, and then they'll start firing back, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Which seems a little bit dumb, because then you just say like, okay, I'm just gonna. There was also
stand half a kilometer away and fire these missiles.
There's also yes, there absolutely
no
is some
honor
of that,
acquired.
Also... No honor acquired would be a good name for a series. This almost made me like think, I'm like the greatest MechWarrior player ever. I should speedrun this stuff with how great I am at finding out strats for things. I'm probably like in the top 10,000 MechWarrior 2 players alive today. I'm just saying.
I mean, probably.
Although that's probably not true, because I'm betting everyone who plays MechWarrior online would be good at it.
This verse has ended. Our destiny is sealed to a once unthinkable fate. We have found new allies in an ancient foe, and enemies in our siblings. The honor of the Warden Way, like a pyre in the blackness of space, has guided us to our home on Terra. Kerensky foretold us of this Eden with a promise of deliverance. We will defend it to our deaths. Let the next verse begin.
So there you go. Moon is now the Khan.
That was a really good game.
Yeah, I'm a big fan, and it is very fun to play. You do have to play it with the mentality of, I am going to find exploits to help me win.
Pretty much.
Otherwise, it's just not fun. Like, the most fun part is finding the exploits, that puzzle solving element.
Yeah, it's like playing freaking old ass RPGs, and just like like one of my friends showed me this video about Morrowind and how absolutely broken that game is. Unless you're breaking it yourself, you're just not playing it right.
Yep.
It's either you're jumping across the mountains, or you're getting killed by a crab. There's no in between.
It's so funny how that makes so many games good. Like the original StarCraft Brood War became such a popular game because there was a lot of exploits you could do to change the way units would act, which was completely different from what was intended, but really added to the depth of the strategy for it. And that happens so frequently. Like Skyrim, I would have liked it without the glitches, but I wouldn't have loved it without the glitches.
Pretty much, yeah. It's just with a lot of these games, if it seems with all of these old games, just like if it seems like you're breaking it, that means you're kind of playing it right. Because if you're not doing it, you're just not gonna win.
I always wanted to see the like play. I know that they don't have it because of the times, but the playtester footage, to see
Yeah,
like what the intention was and how the design, if they did it at all, how the designer
yeah.
like
If
reacted to players playing it.
yeah, like I mean, I imagine that if somebody was a playtester that they've played these games a lot, and that the kind of bullshit strategies you actually have to use in order to beat these games, they implemented them. Because
Right.
otherwise, if they even playtested, or even it begs a question if they took that playtesting into account.
Yeah.
I remember actually one developer from around that time. He has a YouTube channel, and he explains a lot of things about how he designed games on the Genesis and so forth. He said that he wishes they had people like modern YouTubers to
Oh yeah.
playtest their games, because then they would actually know how a 10-year-old would play it. And
It's
they
so
would
true.
know at which point you actually have to help them figure shit out, because they didn't do these sorts of things apparently too much or at all, or people who were playtesters did that so much that it just wasn't like that. They were used to how these games worked, which honestly would explain a lot of things. Kneel at the wall to progress, and tornado.
Yep. Oh, I was also going to mention I do have the Clan Ghost Bear one. I don't feel like playing it now, but maybe if we get in the mood again later, I'll do that one and we can.
Yeah, but so for now, MechWarrior 2 is finished, because this was like the main thing, right?
Yeah, that's an expansion.
Yeah. Okay, that was
So
fun.
right. And I do like. We'll see how things go, but I probably eventually will record Clan Ghost Bear, then MechWarrior 3, then MechWarrior 4, because I didn't play any of the expansions for 3 or 4. So I'm only playing through things I already played through because I don't.
Mm.
That's what I want to do. So, but that's not something I'm planning on doing anytime soon.